Yes guys, welcome to Hair System DIY. I hope you are having a great day. More importantly, I hope you're enjoying my content. If you are, please do hit the subscribe button. You'll notice a little notification bell next to it. If you click that, you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, and you can access that video literally at the click of a button. If you've got an iPhone, click of a finger. New Lace CU still have tons of stock systems. They do also offer custom systems, but if you want one like mine, it's a poly base with a frontal French lace, and it's available in multiple different colours. Just check out their website, www.newlacecu.com. Right, on to the content of today's video. This is going to lead on from last week's video, which was, I suppose, quite a somber, serious video, where I got quite raw. I suppose, sort of bared my soul about this, which is weird given I've never actually met anyone who watches my videos, apart from maybe my stylist. But I felt that it was important. We do need to raise awareness. We do need to protect our mental health, especially given what we've been through in terms of the last year of absolute hell. Given in this country alone, we're having energy price hikes, we're being squeezed more and more by the government, and it's a tough time for a lot of us financially. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about basically talking to other people about wearing a hair system. Not convincing other people to wear. You can do that if you want, but I'm talking about revealing, the fact that you're wearing a system, and who you choose to tell and who you choose not to tell. Now, I'm not going to be here to say you should tell this person or this person or this person. That's not my job. That's not my business. But I will tell you my experience, how I go about this subject. Because let's not forget, guys, hair systems, transplants, hair tattoos, these kind of things, although they're much more accepted within our culture, and I'm talking Western culture here, I can't speak for other cultures, but in Western culture it is more accepted, it's still considered by a fair few people quite taboo. It's still considered by some people quite emasculating, or it's still considered by some people to be a denial of who you are. Now, for me, for a lot of people watching this, that just is BS, basically. That's not true. But for me, I still have a slight issue about sort of telling everyone and anyone that I wear a system. And there's a number of reasons for that. I haven't quite worked out all of those reasons. But I think the main one is I don't want to be explaining the same thing again and again. And a lot of it comes back to what I explained to you in last week's video. I don't really want to be bringing up the anguish that I went through, all of those years of bald patches, and then the male pattern baldness came along, the depression, the suicidal thoughts. I don't really want to be bringing that up with every single person that I meet. I don't think it's necessary. There are only 3 people in my life who do know that I wear a system: my mum, my fiance, and one of my best mates. And even with my best mate, that was actually an accident. That just kind of slipped out. I can't exactly remember how, but he was quite shocked. And he was quite shocked that he didn't even know. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I think he was more shocked that he just didn't know, to be perfectly honest. My mum was super happy for me. My fiance, I told her actually within about 2 weeks of knowing her. It just felt right. And I think this is really important. It has to feel right. You shouldn't be forced, or you shouldn't feel forced to tell people. If you don't want to tell your parents or your girlfriend or your best mates, that's absolutely fine. That's 100% okay. It's not their business. The only person whose business it is that you wear a system is yours and your stylist, really. So for people who don't want to tell anyone, that's absolutely 100% fine. That's your prerogative. There are other people who feel really proud, and they want to show off a hair system. And again, That's their prerogative. That's 100% fine. If you feel okay with telling people that, you know, you're wearing a toupee or, you know, a unit and you want people to learn more about it, that's 100% up to you, and that's 100% okay. A lot of people take a lot of pride in wearing hair systems. You know, these units are expensive. We want to show off what we've got, and they look really good. You know, if people are asking you and commenting, wow, that looks so great and stuff, and if you want to say, well, it's actually a unit, you know, it's not my own hair, then that's great. You know, I wish I could be more like you. I'm still quite guarded. It also might be the fact that I come from a culture which is reserved, quite conservative in our approach to life. We don't really, and this is a fault of society within Great Britain, is that we're not really open enough about our emotions. And that, I think, needs to change. That's one of the biggest reasons why there's a mental health crisis within this country. We need to be more open about talking about these things. And I think in time, I will feel more okay about talking about my system to other people. And I'll probably think about a better way to do it rather than taking them through all of that mental health stuff which I went through, because it is quite draining going through that, you know, from my own perspective. If there's some people that you want to know, but you're scared about it, I'd say the best thing you can do is just to trust your gut. If you're unsure about telling your parents, if you're unsure about telling your other half, trust your gut. What I will say is, if you're living with anyone, it might be wise to tell them. And the reason I say this is because every 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to need to do a removal, a cleanup, and a rebond. This can take between 1 to 2 hours. The last thing you want is to be doing it in your bathroom, cleaning the system, and someone to walk in, or someone to just basically catch you in the act. You've got no hair on your head and you're holding a wig. Now that can be really shocking for someone who doesn't know. Really shocking. So maybe it is best to be honest with them, because at least then you're not going to be tiptoeing around, you know, your own flat or your own house that you share with someone in fear that they might catch you. I made this mistake when I first started wearing systems. I had a housemate and I didn't tell him a thing. And I remember, luckily I was doing a lot of work from home at the time, and I had to wait until he was basically out of the flat. He would be in the office, and that was the time that I got to sort of clean, you know, take off, clean, and rebond the system. But it always felt rushed, and I was always putting myself under pressure to, you know, get it back on before he got home. So I think it is really important to be honest with your housemates or parents or significant other if they are living with you. I think it's a big trust thing as well when we're talking about our partners. It is a big trust thing. If you feel that you can trust them, tell them that you wear a unit. Because I think if you avoid telling them and it's been, I don't know, 6 months, a year plus, it might get to the point where when it does come out, they may feel a lack of trust in you, because they'll think, why hasn't he told me? Or why hasn't she told me sooner? And that can become a massive issue. So there you go, guys. I hope you found that video interesting, and I hope it can help guide you in sort of telling who you need to tell about this, or not, as it were. So please do keep tuning into my videos. Please do hit the subscribe button. I'm really enjoying having you on board. And till next time, guys, bye for now.